What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today we got some serious topics to cover. One of them being, it's sure to set many of you off, but we're going to be talking about the details as well when it comes to the players the Juventus are looking at. Antony's a name that's re-emerging right now, as well as, Rudiger, Milinkovic-Savic, but we have some serious topics to talk about. With the Figc, what they're trying to do to Juventus, stick with us, we'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it's Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. And of course, I've got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news that you care about each and every day, hopefully as quickly as possible, just to get you in and out about your day. But before we do that, let's go ahead and smash that like button if you're here. Please do that. It really helps our channel to continue to grow, and it really helps our videos out. So please hit that like button right now, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already as well. Also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos, and if you want, you can follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Let's dive into it. All right. And it's a doozy. The very first news story of the day is Di Marzio, who is reporting that the Figc's prosecutor's office asked to fine Juventus 800,000 euros. And then they also want to establish 12 months of inhibition. When we say inhibition, it just means a ban. They're putting a ban on the members of Juventus of what they can do, what they can act right now. They want 12 months ban for Agnelli, an 8-month ban for Pavel Nedved. They want 16 months for Paratici, which, sure, I guess if you want to go yell at him at Tottenham, we'll see what will happen. I don't know also if this goes along with the entire FIFA organization, if this can be held just to Serie A, but this is what they're requesting right now. We'll see. We'll monitor this, how it develops, how wide of a scope that this is really under. But as it stands right now, this is what they're asking: 8 months ban for the Riva Bene, 6 months ban for Cherubini. And this is absolutely preposterous. It's ridiculous. It's the Figc. This is the most short-sighted, unscrupulous, corrupt organization that I've ever seen. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense when you have your preeminent club that you're making up rules on the fly just to try to hurt them. And that's what they're doing. They are attacking your team. They're attacking your club. They're attacking Juventus. That's who they care about. The people that make up the Figc are people that are fans of other clubs, of other teams, that root for these other teams and want negative for Juventus. You see this? This has been going on since before, but at least if you remember in 2006, Calciopoli, the whole mess that went along with that. Obviously, other teams have issues. Other teams have books issues. I don't know what was claimed, what was founded in these interviews. Obviously, one of those interviews was something with Paulo Dybala. Is it him? I'm kidding. Maybe. Who knows at this point? I can't really speak on that. But when it came to the financials, the plusvalenza, all the nonsense that's flying around right now with the circumstances around the club, that they are just sniping in on Juventus, your club, your team, everything that you care about, that you love, is what they're trying to hurt. They're not going after Inter. They're not going after Milan. They're not taking shots at them. They're taking shots at your club, at Juventus. And then what does it mean for the potential fallout? Well, if for some reason they're asking for this and it gets approved or gets cleared, or they put this judgment on Juventus, another ridiculous, like I said, short-sighted one, which to me it doesn't make sense. If you are the Figc, how does it make sense to go after Juventus? You're hurting yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot by hurting Juventus. Your moneymaker, your prize jewel. I don't care what people say. Juventus is the prize jewel of the Serie A. Without Juventus, the Serie A would be, it would be the Farmers League it is. You think Inter's out there? You think Inter's going to be the club that's going to hold your standards high to win you champion? They're not going to win Champions League. No, and I understand Juventus has struggled when it comes to Champions League as well, but Inter's not going to go out there and do anything anytime soon, right? This club's not made to last. Milan, yeah, they have a history. They won 7, but does this Milan look like one that's going to compete anytime soon as well? No, but then when you also look at when was the last time that they won? Was it 2010? Right before Juventus started winning their streak? That was the last time Milan won it. It's been over a decade plus since they've won anything. So if that's what you want to put your money into, if that's what you want to ride on, fine. But Juventus is the prize gem of the Serie A, and it's absolutely ridiculous to see them treated this way. I talk about it. I rant each and every day. I come on here and I talk about how ridiculous it is to see the way Juventus is treated overall. I mean, you look at it on the pitch. Watch the Inter match. Go back and rewatch that. I mean, you don't have to rewatch it. You know what I'm talking about. The goal that was given to them, and then all the opportunities, Juve, they just look the other way. It's ridiculous. This is the way they treat your club, and they do it each and every match, all the time. It is what it is. Okay. Otherwise, this video is going to go over too long. I'm going to keep it at that. We'll also talk about what that could mean for the Mercado. I'll go over that real quick. Obviously, that throws some issues in there. Throws some serious issues for Juventus when you have Arriva and Cherubini potentially taken out of action for 6 to 8 months. That includes the Mercado. That includes 2 Mercados, the winter and the summer Mercado. It would be crippling. Obviously, Cherubini and Arriva have been on a hot streak of getting things done, doing things rightly. I know they will. Juventus is going to lawyer up. They're going to fight this. And I have faith that hopefully that they'll, well, I don't have faith when it comes to the system, but I have faith that Juventus will do their best to control this and control the narrative, or not control the narrative, but control an outcome that hopefully they will do their best to get out of it. I'm obviously heated. I'm fired up right now, dealing with this today. Not where I saw my day going, right? I'd imagine a lot of you not where you thought your day would be going either. If this is really what it does, what does it mean for the Mercado? Who's going to be operating the Mercado then? Because it doesn't say, I don't see anything when it comes to shutting down Juventus's ability to purchase players unless they're not allowed to have somebody substitute in for Arriva and Cherubini. But even so, do you have faith in any of these people? Any of the other people out there? Hopefully there's somebody who can get it done. But Arriva and Cherubini have definitely earned, I feel like, after the last Mercado, they've earned that trust with Juventus fans. I'd hate to see anybody else have to step in and try to do it right now. We'll keep it on. We'll monitor this. And also the 800,000 euros. Okay, sure, fine. I mean, I know we say Juve doesn't have money to 800,000 euros. Okay, that's fine. Okay, take your money. Go. Get out of my sight. It's ridiculous. The only thing I can really say right now is bleep the FIGC, bleep Serie A, and bleep everybody that's involved. It's ridiculous. Juventus deserves better. Let's continue on. And let's talk about the rest of the news like everything's normal, right? Is that what we want to do? All right, let's do it. All right, Calciopoli is reporting. Okay, new Justin's out here. Ready? All right, we're gonna get the old me back. All right. Calciopoli is reporting that Juventus are looking at Antony. The demands of Ajax are not lower than 35 million euros. Bayern, PSG, and Man U are in the race, and Juventus have started moving, really considering the player as an option. Obviously, this is I've seen reports out there that that's the guy that they've focused in on as the replacement for Dybala. Maybe, potentially, could be. But I've also seen what happened to Raspadori. Then is Raspadori an option still? Is Raspadori? Because obviously he's not. Neither one's going to fit the same role as Dybala. Because it doesn't seem like Dybala's going to that role. Doesn't have a position at Juventus moving forward in the future, or the near future right now. So as it stands, what does that mean? We'll see and we'll monitor. But right now, Antony is an option. Seems to be a pretty good player there, and definitely obviously has some other big time options right now. I'm still a little shaken, right? It's a little shaken, a little angry. So yeah, there you go with Antony. Let's move it on. All right, we're cool. We're cool now. Repubblica is out here reporting that Milinkovic-Savic prefers to stay in Serie A, with Juve being his ideal destination. It's up to Juventus to convince Lotito by including players in the deal. Lazio, however, want to sell abroad. So that's the latest that we really know. Obviously, most of the stuff we already know. There's been interest in Milinkovic-Savic for a while. Juventus have wanted him. He's been interested in wanting Juventus, but it wasn't going to happen before. And then he ended up signing on that contract deal to remain at Lazio to extend there previously. And it really caused issues for Juventus in even trying to land him. And then, of course, Lotito isn't going to do Juventus any favors when it comes to trying to get one of their best players. They don't want to send it to a direct competitor just to strengthen Juventus. And if he has the option, they, of course, would prefer to sell him abroad, Manchester United, PSG, somewhere else like that. We'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, this seems to be reports now that Juventus is top option of somebody they want to get, and it's been somebody they want to get for a long time. Hopefully they can figure something out, maybe to end up enticing them. I also realized my filter, for some reason, has it yellowed on screen. My shirt's whiter than this, I promise, as are my teeth. Anyway, let's continue it on. I'll fix that filter later. All right, the next story up we have is Rudiger and Corriere dello Sport. He's reporting saying that Juventus have made an important offer to Rudiger, but it's still a long way to go to meet his demands and beat the competition. Obviously, they're gonna try to offer probably a lower wage than he's demanding, probably a lower signing on fee as well, the 20 million euros that he wants on top of that. I don't see Juventus doing that. He said two major obstacles that, at least for the moment, prevent the success of the operation. Obviously, he has competition out there to sign his services. There's another name. I think it might be coming up next, actually, which might be a smartish option for Juventus if they can maybe make that decision instead and put money toward where they really need it in the midfield, and then obviously in the attack there. Obviously, you're going to need to get a good defender in the short term or the long term, I guess. But is it going to be Rudiger? After Polonamolo's comments the other day, I'm kind of leaning toward probably not, but we'll see. All right, next one up, and this is the guy we're talking about, Corriere dello Sport. We've talked about him, remember, I think last Mercado in the summer, or last summer's Mercado. He was talked about as a name, potentially, definitely something that Juventus would be interested in. Basically, they're saying that Rudiger, the plan B for him, with Corriere dello Sport, is saying Milinkovic remains an alternative option for Juventus should they fail to get Rudiger. Potentially, if you could get him for pretty, 15 million, 20 million, something like that, pretty cheap, a cheaper option, definitely much cheaper than what even signing, Rudiger on a free or whatever right now. I think he'd be a really good option. I think he's a really good defender. I would have taken him last summer if Juventus could have bolstered that a little bit. Would have definitely helped out so you wouldn't have to utilize guys like Alexandro as center backs, right? And stuff like that. So that's another option. Let me know if you had to pick between Rudiger and Milinkovic, which one would you go with? Thinking about the big picture, not just thinking about who's the best player, but thinking about the big picture as in who do you get right now and who can maybe, is it a really, really good stopgap? We'll see. Talking about center backs, we can go on to DELEK, and Gazzetta dello Sport are reporting saying that Juventus want to renew DELEK's contract this summer. Duh. If not, they might think about selling. He is feeling great in Turin. Allegri does not want to lose him and is even considering making him the Capitano. Clubs like Chelsea, Bayern, and PSG are all interested as well. And of course they are. Of course they're going to be interested in trying to get DELEK. But if Juventus, to me, it's Juventus, do whatever his demands are. Obviously, when it comes to money, you can only pay so much. But when it comes to honors, yada, 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 I think DELEK is definitely deserving of the captain armband following, Bonucci and Chiellini. I think he's definitely earned it. To me, he is a guy that I truly trust with Juventus' future moving forward. Somebody I don't trust is this next topic of the day. Gazzetta dello Sport is saying that even Alexandro himself is thinking about leaving the club. His management is working on it with an eye on the Premier League. He's reading the tea leaves, reading the room. The list of replacements remains the same. Vindal, Lodi, and Emerson. So those are the names you have to look at. We talked about it in previous videos, so I'm not going to dive too much into it right now until we have further news updates when it comes to that. But it's a good sign. I'd imagine most people that are frustrated with the situation at the left back position for Juventus would think that it would behoove Alexandro to move out of here, and the fact that he's looking elsewhere to try to maybe get a jump on it is good for everybody involved. All right, another player that potentially his future's kind of up in the air again is Corriere dello Sport's reporting that Juventus' idea of keeping MARTA, it's in doubt. They are finding it hard to find an agreement with Atletico Madrid to obtain a discount. In the last few days, Arsenal have contacted Atletico as well. Of course, Arsenal, anytime there's a Juventus player out there that or anybody's rumored with Juventus, or you're trying to renew somebody or whatever, Arsenal's going to be right up there waiting, trying to get a scrap here or there. We'll see what happens with this. It would be unfortunate to end up losing MARTA right now, especially losing Dybala and MARTA during the same Mercado period, I guess is the way I want to look at it. That means you have to replace one or both of them, really. You want to get another guy. I mean, obviously, Raspadori's out there. Now we're talking about bringing in Antony. So we'll see if they could maybe both come in, but also how would they be utilized? Would they fill those roles accordingly? Who else would out there be that Juventus would be pursuing? And then we got to talk about Rabiot and his future. Corriere dello Sport are reporting that Rabiot's future is still to be written. His contract expires in 2023, and so far there is no talk of an extension without a renewal. This summer will be the last opportunity to cash in. Allegri's view on the player will be decisive. So that's where we sit right now with Rabiot's future. Obviously, it's on a hanging by a thread. I think a lot of people were kind of hoping, or at least thinking, and then maybe, optimistically, that he may be departing the club soon. As it stands right now, this is where we are with him. He can earn it, but he's had a couple fine games, but I just see it being a hard sell to try to continue on with the club. All right, next up is Luca Pellegrini news. Gazzetta dello Sport are reporting saying that Luca Pellegrini has many offers from Serie A clubs and other leagues. His sale is still a possibility. So right now, his future at Juventus is not certain, but that also means that, remember the news yesterday, the talks about the left back position and about Luca Pellegrini remaining in the left back position could be the guy. It seemed to be probably not true. It seems more and more likely that Juventus would probably send him out or keep him in a reserve role than to entrust that position to him long term. And then we got to talk about 1EC. 1EC, my boy 1EC. Romeo Granesi is reporting on his latest updates, basically saying that the contract will automatically extend till 2023 after he has made 40 appearances this season. However, Juventus want to make him on a lower offer, another offer at lower terms. A 2-year extension is being considered by the club, so he can get one for the price that he's making, or if he wants to stay, have a couple more seasons with Juventus, if he could take a little bit of a pay cut, he will end up staying for 2 seasons. We'll see when those contract details get worked out and if he agrees. Another player got to decide his future is Giorgio Chiellini. Tutto Sports reporting that Chiellini needs to make a decision at the end of the season, join the management, or play for a year in the MLS. It appears that another season, even though I think his manager commented recently saying that him walking away from the game is a bit premature right now and doesn't feel right. We'll see what that really means with Juventus, or does he decide to go to MLS? It looks like Juventus next season is off the table, but we'll see. I wouldn't get too ahead of ourselves. I've seen other things develop differently as well. It wouldn't surprise me in any moment. But anyway, obviously, me being an American, I'd love to see him come to MLS, especially if he comes to comes to play at a club near where I am. I'd love to obviously go see him play in person, something I've never gotten to do personally. But at the same time, to me, it just doesn't really make a ton of sense to go waste a year in MLS unless you just really want to go to New York or Miami or LA and live there for a year. Just kind of do it like a half retirement kind of thing, right? Because obviously playing MLS is not going to be at the same level of competition. Maybe you can get a little bit of relaxation time. Maybe if he goes to LA, hang out at Del Piero, go to his restaurant, do whatever out there. All right, and then finally, the last bit of news of the day is talking about Mattia Perin, saying Nico Schiera is reporting, saying that talks in progress for Mattia Perin, his contract extension with Juve until 2025. Seems to be an option. Doesn't seem like a lot of people are clamoring for his services to come to their club. We'll see. We know that he still has a desire to want to prove himself by being a first team keeper, so that way he can get or for first team, a starting keeper, so that way he can get to the Italian national team, play for them, and represent it. An honorable gesture, unfortunately, and won't be doing it in a World Cup for another 4 or so years. But anyway, we'll see what happens with him. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for the news today. I appreciate each and everyone for you tuning in as always. When it comes to the news about the FIGC and their nonsense and their attack on Juventus, their attack on your probably love of Juventus, the club that you love, the club that you breathe each and every day, waking up trying to watch a game, cheer on, whatever have you. That news we'll talk about more in later lives, etc. I'm sure Alejandro will talk about it in the live today, and he'll give you a very well-versed, probably less emotional I mean, he'll be emotional, but you know how Alejandro is when it comes to talking. He's very good at laying his emotions aside. Well, right now I'm a little bit heated, so maybe he'll give you a better insight into that later today. Make sure you tune into the live whenever he goes live. I think it should be about 10, 11, or I think probably more 11, so Juve time, if you will. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for this show today. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. Please hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. If you haven't already, make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, as well as make sure you follow myself at Justin Sofro on Twitter. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.